Today you get a brief summary of how I feel about unity. Before I get started, I have to say happy birthday to my young brother, Thomas. Happy birthday.
We'll play.
And last but not least, I'd like for all the members of Cornerstone Live to please stand up. And all the young ladies that help prepare this evening.
Hope chapter.
Hope chapter.
All right. Queen Esther. Over the Hope. Is my wife.
Thank you. As I began thinking about unity, the theme of this black and blue affair, obviously the first thing that came to my mind was Psalms 133. Behold how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Unity is the cornerstone of this organization. That word unity, by definition, states it is a state of quality of being in accord with harmony and oneness. This organization, the most wishful Scottish Rite Grand Lodge of Arkansas Incorporated, should be the epitome of that word. At the very least, it should be a direct example of the word unity. I'm a firm believer in the fact that unity starts with self. If there is no internal unity with self, how can there ever be any commercial unity among all? If there's no unity at home, how can there be unity at work? If there's no unity at work, how can there be unity in this organization? If there's no unity in this organization, how can there be unity in this city? If there's no unity in this city, how can there be unity in this state? And if there's no unity in this state, how can there be unity in this country? And if there's no unity in this country, how can we expect to unite other countries? You have no doubt noticed that this is an election year. The Republicans are saying that the Democrats are wrong. The Democrats are saying that the Republicans are wrong. And nobody's listening to the people. There is no unity. In the worst economic disaster in my lifetime, banks are collapsing. Companies are closing, leaving hundreds of thousands without jobs. People are losing their homes that they spent 25 years paying for. And in some cases, taking their own lives as a last resort. And yet we speak of unity. I dare say there is no unity. Everybody's playing the blame game, and yet there is no solution and no unity. The United States has sent millions of our men and women into a hostile environment to liberate Iraq, and yet we don't have unity at home. Despite what you think, as fellas, when we sit around and call each other niggas, that's not unity. That's division. Fellas, despite what you think, even if you are just with the boys, when you sit around calling our beautiful young ladies bitches and hoes, there is no unity. That's division. I don't know about what your Bible says, but my Bible says in Mark chapter 12, verse 31, that you should love your neighbor as yourself. Now let me tell you, I was not with those apostles when they said that, but I'm pretty sure when they said that they didn't mean Tyrone, who lives geographically next door to you.
All right.
But it meant love all mankind. We as Christian men and women of this organization, as members of the throne of grace, we have to move past our petty differences to rise above our own selves so that we may have unity. As educated members of this community, we have to rise and take our rightful place as leaders. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said the best when he said, "You'll never be who you ought to be until I am who I ought to be." In order for us to be effective leaders, we have to have unity. So how do we do that? I'm glad you asked. It's very simple. We start by practicing what we preach. We start by demonstrating in our everyday lives what we say we believe in. We start by demonstrating what we claim to be a part of. I understand, without you, there is no unity. Without you, all we have is N-I-T-Y. But I hope you understand that without N-I-T-Y, it's just you. And you're all alone.
All right? Come on now.
And it takes all of us to make this thing, this unity that we need. And it's up to all of us to change how we think, to change how we act, and behave better, and set an example for our young people and for the rest of this state. I can take this one finger, and I'm pretty sure this young man can bend it, twist it, and I'm pretty sure he can break it if he chose to. But once I unite that one finger with the rest of them, then we have unity and strength and power. That's what unity is about.
Yes, sir.
God
Yes,
bless
sir.
you.